dem Angriff Steiners wird das alles in Ordnung kommen.
Steiner konnte nicht genügend Kräfte für einen Angriff massieren. Der Angriff Steiner ist nicht erfolgt.
Es bleiben im Raum Keitel, Jodl, Krebs und Burgdorf. Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl! Wer schickt Sie? Dass Sie es wagen, sich meinen Befehl zu widersetzen!
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and the United States is about to experience some significant discomfort that will increase to a significant level of pain that could then escalate into widespread job losses, food shortages, more inflation, and you don't have to take my word for it. Listen to the words of this individual who's in charge, apparently had some things to say about the dock workers going on strike. Now, it's a complicated topic, but this is the video that's going around.
These people today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
Nice gold chain, by the way.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships.
What he is about to say is he is using Americans' pain as a bargaining chip to negotiate. Now, the dock workers reportedly rejected a 50% raise offer because they also want some guarantees around automation, which we're going to talk about later. But optically, this guy is why I hate unions. Plus how they treated my dad. I watched firsthand as two union workers worked their entire lives and got basically nothing for it. And my parents, and all that kind of stuff. My experience with unions are garbage. Teachers union keeps bad teachers. Police union keeps bad police. Are there some good unions out there? I assume so, yes. But this guy embodies why I hate unions.
They get laid off.
Oh, yeah.
Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of
That's not true. But anyway.
business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in. They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoremen now because now they realize how important our jobs are. Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier? It's going to cost the company's money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're going to be like this. Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means.
I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. No, America knows what that is like. We lived through the lockdowns when logistics went awry. And there's no doubt that the shipping yards have this power, and they're lashing out. Now, it was reported last night that the East Coast Port Strike, ILA union, rejected a wage hike of nearly 50% as the shutdown at midnight nears. Well, they did, in fact, walk out today. The average salary of somebody who is an East Coast longshoreman is $40 an hour. That's $80,000 a year plus overtime. So they're all making $100,000 a year. 50% raise would have taken, even if we take the low end at $80,000, means they go from $80,000 to $120,000 a year. They rejected it. This is a union boss saying, I will cripple you. You have no idea, right? How many people working, on those docks could have used a 50% raise, right? Probably almost all of them. This is why I hate unions. The boss says, well, no, we want more. We want more. Well, people say, Jeremy, you're being stupid. It's about automation, not a 50% raise. Okay, well then why'd they offer him a 50% raise, first of all? Second of all, if it's about automation, which is a very real concern, okay? Very real. And again, it's the optics of this guy that makes it all the worse. I'm sure every human being working there is not a piece of garbage. I'm sure they're hardworking Americans who just, want to do the best they can out there, just like any one of us. But striking is maybe the worst move you could make, because who doesn't strike? Imagine this. Your union boss here who literally thinks he's Don Corleone coming across here with his gold chain on, talking about, I will cripple you. Okay. You decline the 50% pay raise, which is an astronomical pay raise. Some say, well, percentage doesn't matter. How much are they making? Well, I just told you. The average person makes 80 grand a year on longshore, which means, some people might make 50 or 60, but some people are making 100, 120, right? So the average is 80, okay? You turn down $120,000 a year salary because you're worried about robots taking your job. So you say, we're going to strike. Well, do you know who doesn't strike? Robots, right? We saw this. And we saw this in California with McDonald's, right? We're going to have a $25 minimum wage or $20 minimum wage. Yeah, all the communists were like, sweet, yeah, we stuck it to the man. Within weeks, huge swaths of those employees were fired or laid off, many replaced by automation. All this is going to do is pour gasoline on the automation fire. So you might be saying to me, Jeremy, well, what the heck are they supposed to do? I agree. There's not a lot you can do. Progress is inevitable. Walking out on your job will only accelerate automation, because the bean counters at top that may be, rich fat cats that are screwing over the working class guy, which by the way, making 80 grand a year is still working class in Kamala's economy. Even the dock workers said that.
I've also been talking to the members here on the ground, the individuals here that are now taking to the picket line. They tell me one of their top concerns, inflation that we have all been living under for the past 4 years. They say that their wages are not adequately keeping up with the cost of living increase.
Now, I don't know how you can say both that and turn down a 50% wage hike. Some people said 70%. I don't know what the actual number is, but this was what we see from State of Freight, 50% shutdown. You might say, Jeremy, well, what the heck am I supposed to do? I get it. It sucks. What did they do when all the accountants or all the secretaries were replaced by personal computers? There is no good answer. You have to find a different job. You have to hold on as long as you can. You let the old timers age out and retire. And if you're young, you negotiate skilled training for different jobs. You might not like that, but if you look at most other modern ports around the world, they're almost entirely automated. There is no stopping progress. There is delaying it, which the old timers who are working there, they're probably happy to do. But the people that work on that dock that are in their 20s, that job will not be there in 5 years, 10 years. It just will not. So part of the negotiation, as unfortunate as it is, should be about training these folks, getting their union to train. Now, they could have used their union dues to buy robots to fight the other robots. They could have done that, as suggested by one of my viewers. But there is no good answer here. And nobody wants to take that bitter pill. Even I will be replaced by some AI VTuber. Basically, what I do is algorithmic. I find whatever's trending in the news, I talk about it. You feed my videos an AI, there'll be some hot, big-chested AI bunny girl doing what I'm doing, and they'll be able to cover every single piece of news that comes out within minutes of it coming out. I know that future is the future for content creators. If you're a commentator, if you're one of the lucky ones that, have been around a while, people like Tim and me, we're the age out guys. We want to hang on just as long as we can. Hopefully put enough money away before retirement, before we're replaced. If you're 18, 19, getting into content creation, thinking you're going to be a news commentator in 20 years, it's not going to be there. So are we supposed to, just stomp our feet? No. I'm going to have to learn how to integrate AI into what I do. I'm going to have to learn how to add additional value to my viewers that isn't just my videos, which is, why I start the members area. There's all this kind of stuff. So I don't want to seem heartless. I don't want to seem heartless because my viewers are these people who, I bet you I have dock workers in my viewership. And the people who work there are just thinking, well, what the heck am I supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Right? I wish I had a better answer for you. But my job isn't to lie to you, Turning down a 50% pay raise over automation does not play great with the Americans. Having a union boss say, I will cripple you, and, I have all this power, and blah, 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 blah. Look at the gold chain he's wearing. If it can be automated, it will get automated. I don't know how these people vote. But you're going to end up having Biden. You see the White House is left with few good options as dock workers walk out. After tens of thousands of dock workers walked out of the job at midnight, the Biden administration is confronting complicated politics and a limited toolkit of a work stoppage in a home stretch of a critical election season in which the economy has taken center stage. For weeks, they've been talking about President Joe Biden has sent a clear message that he has no plans to do the Taft-Hartley Act, which would force him to go back to work. When it comes to brokering a potential deal, labor experts say the White House has only two tools: using the bully puppet and invoking the Taft-Hartley Act, which would force the longshoremen back to work, which Joe Biden said he's not going to do. Biden told reporters Sunday, when asked whether or not he would intervene in a potential strike because it's collective bargaining, I don't believe in Taft-Hartley. Breaking the strike would be a politically dangerous move for Biden as his vice president, Kamala Harris, runs to succeed him in the Oval Office. Without taking that move, there's nothing the White House can do. So what Kamala Harris can do is nothing. Now, they could send her in there to end the strike, but it will not stop what's coming. So if you're 20, 30, 35, and you're a longshoreman, bank your money, take the raise, bank your money, fight for them to train you in automation or train you in other jobs. Make them send you back to school. Make them pay for you to go to community colleges to learn a trade. These are things that I think are worth fighting for once you accept. I've accepted a long time ago that I will not be able to be a stupid internet talking head for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, these docks are going to get automated. You can stave it off for a few years, and I respect that. But what I would be fighting for is these things. Training. Take that money. Get that raise. Take it. Bank it. Use it to start a business. Use it to learn a trade. Make them pay for you to trade. Learn other stuff. Walking out is only going to accelerate. It's only going to accelerate automation. And I don't know how these people vote, but this looks very bad for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. It's a no-win situation. It's a no-win situation for the workers who I actually care the most about. This douchebag union boss who's on a power trip, I couldn't care less. This guy probably makes $250,000 a year. So screw him. But everyone else, it's about to be painful for the United States. I hope you're informed by this video. If you were, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.